How's it going, ladies and Bruce? I'm Sixkilla, and welcome to another guide for Pokemon Sword and Shield. We did the Ditto catching guide, we did the breeding guide, so it seems only right that we do the EV training guide. And also, this one's going to be a lot easier to do. First, I'm going to explain to you what EVs are. So, basically, like IVs, EVs contribute to the stat points of a Pokemon. Each Pokemon can be assigned 510 EVs, 252 maximum on each stat. So EV spreads often look like, say, 252 attack, 252 speed, and 4 HP for a sweeper, or 252 special attack, 252 speed, 4 HP, or defensive Pokemon might be like 252 HP, 252 defense, and 4 in attack, or 4 in special attack, depending on what the Pokemon is. Those are the normal spreads. So 252 is max in a single stat, so it's usually 252, 252, and then 4, or, I mean, you can fit 6 normally, but 4 EVs is equivalent to 1 stat point at level 100. That's why you that's why everything's in multiples of 4. 252, and your leftovers 4. Some of the allocations for EVs are a little bit more complicated, but you just train them however you wish. First, we're going to go over the 3 different ways, the 3 main ways. I can't think of another one that you can train your Pokemon for EVs. They're quite easy nowadays. So the first thing you're going to need before you start is you should get the power items, which you can buy at the Hammerlock BP shop in the Pokemon Center, same as you could for the Destiny Knot. They're only 10 BP each. You should grab a full set. It's worth having a full set. And if you can get Pokerus, if you've got a friend who has Pokerus, or you have Pokerus, that makes it a lot easier. Our example we're going to be doing today, I don't have Pokerus on my card, so we're not going to be using that. So we're just going to be using power items. Alright, so the main ways you can do it are, 1, you can now use vitamins all the way to 252 EVs. So if you give 26 iron to one of your Pokemon, their stat will max out. That's one way of doing it. It's very expensive. It's 510,000 Pokédollars to fully train one Pokemon, if you're going to do it that way. So that's not the most... I mean, it's the fastest and definitely the easiest way, but it's also horrendously expensive. The next way you would do it would be with Pokejobs, which is new to this game. So the way Pokejobs work is, if you put one Pokemon into one of the jobs, they're differentiated by stat, but if you put it into, say, attack, then if you leave it for 1 day, just a normal Pokemon in the attack one for 1 day, you'll get 96 EVs in 24 hours. Now, if that Pokemon has Pokerus, and that's all, it will get 192 EVs in 24 hours. If it has just a power item, the power item that corresponds to that stat, obviously, then it will max out its EVs in that stat in 24 hours. And if it has Pokerus and the power item, it will max out that stat in 12 hours. So that's a pretty quick way of doing it. There are also the time exploits. You can change the clock on the Switch to exploit that. We're not going to go over that here. We're just going to go over the normal ways of doing it. So that's one way you can do it. If you're doing a batch, that would be a nice way of doing it, if you've got a lot of power items. Because you can fit, I don't remember how many, it's like 10 Pokemon in a single training session, so you can train that many at the same time. So it's efficient, it just means you have to wait. It's the longest way of doing it. The way we're going to do it today is the classic way, which is battling. I do have a list of Pokemon. This is not comprehensive, but here's a list of easy places to go and get Pokemon that give out EVs that you need. Each of these gives out 1 EV in that stat, but if you're holding the power item, they gain an extra 8. So that's 9, and if you have Pokerus, then they'll get 18. So, all you need to do to max out a stat is, if you get it to hold the power item, you need to knock out the same Pokemon 28 times. If you have Pokerus and the power item, then you only have to knock out that Pokemon 14 times to max out that stat. So that's basically it. So the list is for HP, Squirvit on Route 1. That's a nice easy one. Speed, Rookity on Route 1. Also real easy. For attack, I use Timburr in Galar Mine. This one's kind of a hassle, but it's not too bad. Defense, you can use Roly-Coly outside Galar Mine. That one's real easy because they're everywhere. Special attacks, iffy, because for special attack I use Ghastly, Ralts, Budju, or Oddish. You can find any of those in the wild area, but it depends on the weather. So just grab whichever one you can find out there. And then for special defense, Gossifleur on Route 3. Most of these are real easy. I think special attacks is the most difficult one. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, that's all you need to do. And if you want to check if your Pokemon has maxed out its EVs, you go to the effort ribbon lady, who gives you an effort ribbon badge or whatever. It's in Hammerlock. It's just to the right of the Pokemon Center. If you're facing towards the Pokemon Center, it's to the right. And if you talk to her and she gives your Pokemon the effort badge, or effort ribbon or whatever, that means its EVs are complete. We're going to run through the Duraludon here that we bred in the last episode, in our breeding episode, which we bred with the Ditto from the episode previous. So we're getting a nice continuity going here. This one's EV spread is going to be 252 special attack, 252 speed, and 4 defense. So we're going to go, first thing we're going to do is we're going to fight Rookities on Route 1. We need to defeat 28 of them, while Duraludon is holding the power anklet. The Duraludon, or whoever you're training, doesn't need to be doing the fighting because EXP shares on all the time. EXP share shares your EVs party-wide. So it doesn't need to be at the front, it just needs to be in the party, holding the item. He holds the power anklet, take a big strong Pokemon to stomp 28 Rookities, and then we move on to the next spot. Right, now that we're done with that, we're going to move on to special attack. This one was a pain in the ass because I couldn't find anything. Eventually I did come across Ralts, so I was fighting Ralts for special attack. So once again, this one took a little bit longer because they were harder to find, but we had to defeat 28 of them, with our Duraludon holding the power lens now to buff special attack. Once we defeat 28, we'll be done with that, and then we'll move on to defense. Okay, now that we're done with special attack, we're going to move on to defense. Now, because we're only putting 4 into defense, I find the easiest way is to just put the power belt on, which is the one that boosts physical defense, and then just defeat one of the Pokemon you just fought because their stat is already maxed. So if I defeat a Ralts, I'll get 1 special attack EV, which will get thrown away because it's already maxed, and then 8 defense EVs, which will only be 4 because that's all you can actually have in the stack, because that'll make up to 510. And so that's it. That's how you do it. That's I find that because this way's quite fast, it's quite cheap, and you can also do them in bulk if you have multiple power items. Because the EXP share shares EVs between every party member. If you have one strong one at the front and 5 that are EV training, if they're all holding the power item, they can all be done at the same time. If you could be bothered getting 5 of each power item. And also don't forget to go to the ribbon lady in Hammerlock to make sure that it is complete. If she gives you the effort ribbon, that means that your Pokemon is done. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you. I hope that helps you, and if you guys have any other guides that you want me to do, any other information that I can do for you, let me know. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking it out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.